Hi, we're here with Noel from the Wall. Great gym and facility you have here. So, how long have you been in this spot particularly?
We've been in this spot now exactly a year.
1 year.
This month is
and you
1
moved
year.
from close by, right?
Yeah, we moved from the unit over, which was too small. So.
Yeah. And how long were you there for?
3 months.
3 months. Okay, so you expanded very quickly. So,
Yeah.
So going back to your journey, really, from getting into this industry. I know you've been in the industry about 17 years. So, what kind of got you into the industry to start with?
Well, I enjoy training myself and actually being a higher performing athlete, and just trying to make sure that other people succeed as well. So pushing those boundaries and coaching everybody, leaders and teams. Always enjoying playing team sports, and training myself.
So what kind of sports were you into?
Cricket, football, majority.
Football being soccer.
Yeah, soccer.
Yeah.
Yep. And just about anything, any ball sport, any contact sport, swimming, surfing, running. So
you're kind of very active.
Yeah, you want to be, especially when you're younger. I found it very important and very fun playing multiple sports, so that you would never had to do homework or be bored at home. And it's also, I understood very early on, especially from my primary school days, that it helps with development. So your limbs and your body develops better under certain circumstances, and eye coordination and stuff. So
when you got into the industry, were you just studying into personal training immediately first off, or how did that kind of develop?
Well, it's funny you say that. I actually only came full-time into this industry when I opened this gym.
Okay.
I was actually a IT manager for 15 years and ran an IT department for a couple of corporate companies. Was a service delivery manager for a help desk in New Zealand. And prior to that, I was actually a baker. So coaching and especially coaching teams and coaching individual athletes was a part-time gig, and I'd like to stick to 3 or 4 athletes a year or 1 team a year. So it was really just trying to substitute both hobbies.
So your background more, a lot of people come in from a personal training background to own their own facility. You came in from a coaching background.
Yeah. So from from strength and conditioning coaching to lean hybrid training. So trying to find a system that worked for me personally and allowed me to get the best of all the worlds. So I loved strongman, did a lot of strongman for 3 or 4 years. Loved powerlifting, competed at a good level, and played sport as well. So trying to get the best of all the worlds, because and then being good on monkey bars, calisthenics and stuff like that, allowed me, to actually develop a whole lot of range of skills as opposed to focusing on just one.
Yeah, and then with your kind of move from going from IT into this, what kind of made you do that move?
Purely family, and I actually wanted to run my own business, and also being a little bit despondent or annoyed at the gyms that were out there that weren't catering towards what I consider was just the basics. So I went on a journey, travelled New Zealand, went to as many gyms as I could, went to over 90 gyms in New Zealand, and then sort of formulated a plan on how I would develop my own training gym that literally based around how I would train and how I wanted to train when I was between 16 and 23. That could have potentially helped me be a better athlete than,
Okay, so when you got into your first place, how many square meters for that one?
That one was only 200.
200 square meters.
Yeah.
So when you're saying you kind of grew that very quickly.
Yeah.
When you moved in there, were you doing more group classes, one-on-one, combination?
Well, we, like the format and the environment I wanted to create, it was around group training. Group motivation training has been proven to work. America's does it really, really well. CrossFit does it really, really well. It's around creating a comfortable area that you know is self-motivating. So people don't have to feel like just walking alone. They actually want to go. They want to belong to like a club, and a place where it's safe as well. So and also making sure people work hard. So once with the group motivation, it's harder to what we call term sandbagging if there's someone next to you who you don't know. Once you start getting to know them, sort of create a bit of internal rivalry. But at the end of the day, it's for you. It's your time. So yeah.
Okay. So from that facility, then
we were running group classes, and they got too big.
Yeah. So you were saying before we were talking, you kind of came over into this space, and the owner is the same owner for the building.
Yep.
So you got a great deal for this place for the first 12 months. So it was a good opportunity to expand and allow yourself to grow.
Yeah, like we literally when I walked into this place first, I thought, this is awesome because I can keep expanding. I can invite more teams because on the flip side, the group training, there's also teams. We like to do rugby teams, strength and conditioning teams, prem teams, and they're big guys. They need a lot of room to move, and we understand the value of open space to be able to do field drills. And as you can understand, New Zealand is quite a wet country in winter, a lot of contact sports. Got to have somewhere where you can actually train. So whether you don't have to do your field drills, but you can at least do something because it's indoors. So we were running, some rugby teams and some sports teams at the other place. It was just too small. So with this place, perfect. It's ideal. A lot of area, and they can actually stretch out. So that's quite important without worrying about knocking over someone else
So that place was 200 and this one's 800. So you
this one's
pretty
800.
much,
So
that's quite a big step up.
Yeah, well, we had over there, just in comparison, we had a 66 square meter turf, which was like the turf we use now, and now we've got 230 square meters of turf, which is a quarter football field. So it's really nice, really good. You can actually start doing good yo-yo drills and actually get some statistical information when an athlete arrives with us. 8 weeks later, you retest them. So it's really good. It's handy.
Okay, talking about testing. So when your athletes or even individuals come in, what kind of assessment testing process do you go through? I gather it's kind of customized for their needs, but is there a standard process?
The hardest thing, and you're right, it's important to get a person to understand where they come from. Like to me, the history, where I've come from, to me is the most valuable piece of information I have right now to make sure that the training that I do, keeps progressing. So if you don't know what they can do today, how are you going to know in 8 weeks that they're better? Because it's got to be performance based. There's no point investing a whole lot of time with yourself and with a member or a coach or an athlete without showing them that they've progressed. And it doesn't really matter whether your progression is 1% or 15 or 20%. So long as you're moving forward, you and the athlete are setting out to actually achieve something. It isn't a progression. So smaller steps over a period of time increase on a long one. Sometimes, especially in this area, it's a case of just unlocking people's natural talent. They're really, really good, they're really, really strong and really fit. They just need someone to help them unlock it.
Refine it.
Yeah.
So more of when you're coming in, it's more of a process of in the interview process to really get that big background.
Yeah, so it's either fitness. So if it's a fitness goal, then obviously it would be based around running, sled pushes, sled drags. If it's strength based, then obviously your main movements, squat and bench, or squat and deadlift, or just squat. And then you've got a point to start from. You've got a reference point. So it's all about having a reference point, and then based on their needs, and if they're playing rugby, there's no point making them a better soccer player. You've got to make them a better rugby player. So you design a program that improves those requirements: speed to the ball, power, their ability to stand up quicker.
Great. So after the interview process, do you go through any kind of physical assessment process? Do you use anything that you picked up from around when you did your travelling or from your coaching experience?
Yeah, so we like to, well, personally, I like to use the 9 functional movement screening, so making sure people, where they scale on a scale of 1 to 3 for each, movements. But unfortunately, these days, time is very limited. People want to actually start, so,
And you're working with teams a lot too, or group of
yeah, a group of teams. So for them, it's just really giving them a beep test, as simple as that. Beep test, let's see where you go, let's see where you're scoring. And we already know based on statistics, where you should be roughly in your general preparedness. So, and that's, I think, one of the downfalls of the fitness industry is when people come in here who've been at gyms for a long time, their even general preparedness to actually do any physical activity is really low, and in some cases non-existent. So what have they been doing in a gym for the last 8 years? So
bodyboarding.
Yeah. So we try and, for us, it's almost a simple case of how are you squatting? How's your mobility? How's your thoracic extension? Can you get your hands over your head high enough? And we go from there. We've got so many different ways we can start, but, it's sometimes a simple movement screen,
Yeah, I mean, it's a good start, and also
Yeah.
you can use the workout itself as an assessment because you're watching how they move and progress
Yeah.
through the training. So at any point, if you get tied up with any movement, you can always regress that and
Yes,
look at the underlying cause.
So yeah, people get hung up at, you've got to squat with a bar. Well, no, technically you don't. You've got to be able to squat first properly. So, you can use steel rods, sticks, you can use kettlebells, because kettlebells, have that awesome ability to force a person to stand upright. You can't actually lean forward because you can't cheat. You're going to fall over. So then you find any hips that are tighter or ankle immobility. So it's all a case of, sitting at a desk all day, people don't understand, making them understand that you've come into a flexion state where your hamstrings is always shortened all day and your lower back is being pulled under your butt, and it's helping them to understand, okay, when you come in here, we've got to get you into extension state so we can start helping you to, combat some of those, and it just starts from there.
Okay, and looking on your website, you have a lot of different services available too. So with the one-on-one service that you have, do you kind of do more of an in-depth assessment for those one-on-one, or you again try to get in and assess it while you're going through the training?
50-50, because sometimes the easiest way to get them started, because a lot of people who do one-on-one just want to, unfortunately just want to lose weight, so you've got to get them starting them to move. But sometimes while you're doing it, a simple push and pull movement, one of each, will allow you to get them enough of a satisfaction feeling, and get you enough of an assessment to see what areas you need to develop on and work on, and then you refine the program to work on those.
Yeah,
definitely.
And what kind of percentage would be one-on-one for you?
For us, it's actually very, very low, because we, as I said before, we promote the group training, but there are people who like that comfort. So we'll have, myself, I'll have 2 or 3 a day. Other coaches, 1 or 2 a day, or 2 a week. But the service is available there, but we do know that we can get them. We hope to get them to a point where they're comfortable being in a group class. And then the sustainability and also their pocket, their investment in themselves is long-term is better, because it's harder to jump from trainer to trainer and then each trainer has to start again than if you're in a training system already and you can walk into a gym and you're quite comfortable, then you've actually got a base point to start, got to move jobs or whatever, you can actually just walk into a gym and start again rather than regressing all the time. So, yeah.
Okay, so with the group class, how many people do you have in here at once for like the CrossFit type?
So they range between, depending on the weather and depending on how people feel and what day, anywhere between 10 and 20 people. We sort of cap it at 16 to 20 people max. Just
20 people in here is pretty easy.
Well,
right?
that's actually only on the CrossFit side.
Yeah.
And then we actually run concurrent classes on the turf as well. So your box fits, your zoos.
Could you have both classes going at once?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, well, that's
so we
really
have them
efficient.
overlapping.
Yeah.
Yep. So, for a CrossFit area size, the rubber mat's about 170 square meters. It's actually quite a lot, and it's quite good. You can have 16 to 20 people in there.
Yeah, I was
and
going
you
to
can
say
run
that's
a boot
more
camp
realistic.
and you can run a 8 to 12 people box fit zoo, Zumba. We run Zumba, yeah. It has up to 30 people in a class. So and then we've got normal people who do their own training as well. When I mean normal, I mean just your standard gym goer who likes to just headphones on, pump their weights and go home.
Oh, so you have a regular membership as well?
Yep.
So you open kind of more regular hours as
We're
well?
actually, that's one of the problems that, not a problem, but, like putting CrossFit in a box, and we wanted to be a normal gym as well. So we started with strength and conditioning first, and we wanted to allow people to train when they need to train, right? You and I sometimes can't train between 5 and 7 p.m, so we can't fit into a class schedule, but we could potentially come at 4. So why be closed? I'm already paying for the facility.
Yes, exactly.
I'm already paying for the lease. The equipment's, to me, a piece of equipment should be used 12 hours of the day, then I'm maximizing my capital expenditure, right? So we do weightlifting as well on its own, so Olympic lifting, because people, and then they can transfer those skills into CrossFit a lot quicker than the other way around. So
you do more specialized coaching for the Olympic lifting as well as
so
within the
we
class.
actually run a specific time slot for our members that's Olympic lifting coaching, so those that actually want to get really good at it. We used to run it on its own, where it was its own membership and its own, but we've just absorbed it as part of being a member here. And we have an Olympic lifting coach. Saki's number 2 national in New Zealand for his weight class, aiming for that 200 clean and jerk at the moment. So he's really good, and it's good for our members as well, because they get the form and the technical abilities from a weightlifting as a refined and a really good training methodology. So those members, they can learn from that technique and the correct cues, will progress a lot quicker in CrossFit.
So they can do that supplemental to enhance.
Yes, that's correct. So they can take time out of their CrossFit day. So we do it on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So it's not every day, and it's not all the time, but they can come and do it. And we've actually got a purpose-built weightlifting area, weightlifting bars, and we find that those those that want more and enjoy that, get a lot out of it. So it's more a case of providing, what, as you said, another service. That's part of that multiple disciplines under one roof.
Yeah, so look, when I was looking at you offer a lot of different services, and I mean it's pretty much a one stop for everybody who's involved with physical preparation, because you've got the CrossFit, you've got the turf area to work on, you've got the Olympic weightlifting, you've got the strength and conditioning. So it looks like it's all encompassed. So we're going to go for a little bit of a tour around the place. So when you walk in, I see you got this kind of utilising the reception to the minimal amount of space that you have to. As you said, you got auto check-in there, right?
Yep.
With the scanner. Do you use that with a software?
Yeah, so we use a automated program that's got scanning cards, but you can use any barcode. So if people have a coffee card, I can just enter the barcode number and they can just scan that rather than having 3 or 4 cards on their key ring. So,
that's good.
Because we are a small, a non-corporate environment, we're not as strict on it as we are, because we actually know everybody. So if you just wander in, we'll know that you've just wandered in. So it's not such a big deal now. Maybe one day.
Yeah. Hopefully one day.
But we like to be a community. People just need to be welcome.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So that kind of minimises that space for you too.
Oh yeah, you can't. You can't have 10 personal trainers behind there. Even one person behind there is a bit cramped. So the idea is that when people are here, you actually step out and get away. Obviously work has to continue. So you've got work and admin and stuff to do, but we sort of try and keep it to a minimum. And just, it's only progressed there. It used to be in the middle of the floor to utilise both sides of the garage door, but it's slowly, classes got bigger, more members. Had to be pushed into the corner that's not used.
Do you use shakes or anything like that for people?
No, we don't do protein shakes now. People bring
just the fridge.
Yeah, just the fridge. People need to be hydrated. And we sell protein.
But you sell some supplements up there.
Oh
and
and
your clothing line.
Easy. People need that stuff, and having to go to somewhere else to get it when I can just get it. It's just a service.
Okay, so when they come, this area here is the turf area you were talking about before. What's the length of the turf?
So it's 25 meters.
Okay, so good length on the turf.
Yeah, good length. Obviously,
They're 25 meters to the platforms then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's for when you got rugby teams, normally squads of 20 to 40. You know, so you sort of had, you know, yeah, you need room to move. So yo-yo tests, agility drills, cone work, as well as, you know, you can run boxing on it. We do zoo on it, do Zumba on it. So, and you know, yeah, so it is, you know.
It's been a couple of years. Is it withstand it okay?
Yeah, this is the, you know, like this is when I was designing it, it had to be the best turf in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So it's tiger turf, and it's what they would use at the Rio Olympics. So it's finer grade, it's wet pro, it's good for the sled because the thing with athletes, it's got to be injury prevention, right? So poor quality turfs, rolled ankles. You know, it is straight onto a concrete floor. So, you know, and then flipping tires, and yeah, this is a year old, and this has had, you know, 20, 40 guys on it at a time, you know, and it still looks like it was put in. So
yeah, it looks brand new. I mean, that's the thing, you put the investment in it early on, and it lasts you a lot longer than if you had to replace it every couple of years.
That's correct, and you push the boxes along, sleds along, walking lunges, you know, your foot has actually a stable platform. And you can do your warm-ups, you can play little games, you know, bring a basketball hoop out and stuff like that. So
was this all, the concrete in here all level when you came in?
Yeah,
perfect level? Okay, there was no
this
cracks.
was a perfect warehouse and distribution facility. So.
I see you got the wood on the walls there. Is that particularly for the medicine ball work as well? Or is it just...
It's more for handstands.
Okay.
So because it's just a jib-lined wall, we do a lot of handstand work, you know, Zoo does a lot of handstand work as well, so it just allows, you know, it's a flat surface and it's a stronger surface. You know, medicine ball and wall balls actually has to go higher than that as a standard, so it's just protecting my wall.
Yeah,
so,
from the heels and the shoes and stuff.
Yeah. So
smart move. I mean, it's only, was it plywood or something?
Oh yeah, it's just 12 mil ply, you know,
Yeah.
so it's, it'll last longer than the jib.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's have a look at we'll go right down the back and have a look at the weightlifting area you have set up here. You custom built this for yourselves?
Yeah, just for the space, and, you know, got the thickest ply I could find, 23 mil, and then just to absorb the impact of the bars, and, you know, it's just a nicer feel. And also it's good for up and coming weightlifters to actually have a nice area that's secluded from the members. It's a bit tricky doing it in front of CrossFitters because you've got a lot of movement in front of you, so it's a little bit secluded, and they can concentrate and they can chat, and Saki can give proper cues, and it's a beginning, you know.
It's great. And your bumper plates, you got the full size, you got some Eleiko ones there as well. Solid strength I've heard of before.
Yeah, so I mean, you
got to go for
the
bumpers.
original plates I bought, so they're sufficient.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're doing competition here, so...
No.
Yeah.
You know, what... Yeah, it's...
The competition plates, you bump up twice the price for something you're not going to really utilise. So.
Yeah, I got the XF plates there, you know, for a couple of us, but they're not, you know, required, you know, at this level.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'd rather spend a bit more on a bar than plates.
And what bars you got there? You got the solid strength bars as well?
Yeah, so we have the solid strength ball bearing bars as well as the spring loaded bars. So ball bearing ones for weightlifting, and then spring loaded for CrossFit. And just because you
got the female too.
And we've got 50-50 men and ladies bars because we're actually a female dominant gym. So we've got a lot of, you know, so we've got 30 bars, and they can be used on both sides.
Yeah.
But the ball bearing ones do help, and
Okay, great. Tires, I guess this is kind of left over also, I mean, CrossFit, also from your strongman days a little bit too?
I always love tire flipping. I cannot go a week without tire flipping, pushing and pulling the sled. So
what do these weigh?
These weigh 180.
The big one's 180?
Yeah, and the small one's 65, 63.
Okay.
So, you know, they're not by any means big tires, but you
big
flip
enough.
it down the turf for a minute and you'll feel it.
Yeah,
and
sure.
You know, it's more of a functional movement anyway. You know, people quickly find out that they've got grip issues and things like that. So
I've got a 250 kg one in my home gym.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that one not getting used much at the moment though.
No, well, drop it off, yeah.
The sled here.
Yeah, so
is this custom built?
No. So this is, you know, look, this is actually the standard. Well, a lot of places get it. You can get it from most gyms
supplies.
These days. Gym supplies these days. It's nice because you can actually sit on it, so it's a lot easier to pair up with a partner, put some weight on it, and actually just jump on it rather than pulling weight on and off. And you can pull it as well, and it's got the high end and the low end, so you can do sprinters, sleds, or you can actually on the low end get closer to the ground. It's a lot harder. And yeah, every member will attest. I force them to do the sled all the time, so it's the easiest push to learn, especially for weight loss and people who
for sure
struggle at coming to the gym. Something like the sled actually adds a bit of satisfaction as well. So
yeah, we love the sled. Do you use this for you only got the one sled, right?
Yep.
Do you use this for, I guess, the CrossFit, the strength and conditioning work, everything, right?
Everything.
Across the board.
Yeah. So it's in our program. So
have you seen the ones with the wheels with the cam system on it?
No.
So it's a little bit user friendly, very new out. So it's a little bit friendly, so you can use it outside and inside.
Oh, okay.
But cam resistance system on it, and you load weights on it. So a little bit easier on the turf long term. But I guess this is good quality, so you're not worried.
The turf is, should be able to handle that.
It looks like you got fairly good pads on the bottom there, so they're not going to cause much damage.
And because it's not a large surface area, there's actually a lot less friction. So you actually, there's a lot less resistance on the bottom. Alternatively, you just put some weights on the box, push a box.
Yeah,
it's a sled.
Flip it over and then
homemade
push
sled. So
great. Okay, and then you got a couple of so you got all the half racks down here, but you got the one full rack here. Is it used in your class as well, or is
no?
So
so we do with all programming and all classes, there's a strength element as well. So squatting, strict press, overhead push press and stuff, and walking lunges and stuff like that. So the half racks are real good. Because you can have a lot of people using them, as well as, we do promote a healthy relationship with the squat. So you've got to have a lot of squat stations. So we've also got 3 on the rig over there when we get there. So the whole facility for me was designed around the squat. If people who know me, I squat fanatic, so you just got to do it.
Yeah. Great. And then this one's for
cage,
strength and conditioning.
Cage is very versatile, especially for rack pulls, and it's just all round, and you just got to it fits in with the strongman and stuff.
Is this, I gather, to stop it vibrating a little bit?
Yeah, because we do a lot of calisthenics and stuff on the bars, so it just helps with the stability of the item. Less friction on a bar, safer. So it's all about injury prevention, and they were just, saw them and I was like, these will be perfect rather than bolting them to the floor, because then I can move them wherever I need.
Yeah, and definitely.
Yeah.
Once you bolt them down, the concrete bolts, not easy to move.
No.
Good, you got a glue hand raise there too.
Almost probably the third most important piece of equipment in a gym. I'd love to have more. They're just very costly.
Yeah.
And the amount of times you use them.
What makes this one?
This was by Solid Strength. So
solid strength, a lot of solid strength gear.
Yeah.
The racks too?
No, the racks are industrial athletic.
Yeah.
So I sort of have, when I put together, it's sort of whoever's got it at the rate that I can afford.
Yeah.
At the time, because it's a capital investment in gyms is huge. The depreciation is so quick. So
yeah, and I guess you kind of, as you expanded, which was actually quite quickly, you had to buy more gear, so you had a limited time frame.
Yeah, well, I always had 4 racks. Yeah, I actually literally started with almost everything you see. We've added a little bit, but we haven't added double. So
it's just more the space you needed for the
just
for
making
volume.
sure, every piece is utilised really well, and pick up bits and pieces here and there.
Does it get used, the bike?
All evening.
Oh yeah.
3 hours every evening. 3 hours.
Oh, for the classes.
No.
Oh no, for intervals.
Classes. It's injury prevention, guys with injuries, warm ups.
Intervals as well, I guess. These are great for doing intervals on.
Yeah, there are. Yeah.
Because you can adjust it very quickly.
Yeah, so it is a spin bike, so they're 20 kilo wheels, so you are got some resistance on there. But people mainly use it for a warm up, or there's some people that smash out a good 45 minutes on it.
Wow.
I'd get more.
We had one in our gym and it gathered dust.
Oh really?
That was in the US.
Yeah, no, this one, as you can see by the shiny wheel, it's clean.
Yeah, again padded. Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, and you got all these are adjustable benches, which kind of double practical use, right? I mean, it makes sense.
You can wheel them into a rack. You can have them 45. They can be used as a dumbbell. So we don't. Yeah, like I am looking at expanding this area. That's
Mhm.
actually on the agenda now because it's the area that I'm trying to get more people who are just come to do their own thing into the environment because I think they'll benefit a lot from it. So, it's just refining this area a bit. But it's practical and it's useful. There's always a bench spare.
Yeah. And you got the
IPF.
bench with support stands on there
So
for
this is,
safety stands.
IPF standard bench as well. So it's a pity they don't make this particular one anymore because I would have got a second one. But it's good. It's used all the time. All evening. But no one's waiting. There's no queues. You just wheel
Exactly.
into a rack and away you go, or you.
Yeah, and you got so much other stuff going on at the same time anyway, so it's not a big problem. Dumbbells. I guess you're kind of been expanding those, or is this?
No, so this is the original lot I bought. I only bought up to 40. I am in the process of procuring heavier ones now. I've got some members that are doing more dumbbell work.
That's more the strength and conditioning rather than the CrossFit side?
Both. We actually program a lot of dumbbells into our strength and conditioning, into our CrossFit. Because on the CrossFit side, we can talk about that later. But yeah, so it is, dumbbells are good. They're handy.
The hexagonal ones, are they from a local supplier?
Yeah, so they're from New Zealand supplier. Only hexagonal ones per kg and per value, they're the cheapest.
Yeah,
it purely came down to who was the cheapest.
They're like 40%, 30% less than that?
Even more. Yorkers, these are 60, 70% less than some of the better other brands.
Wow.
But 1 kilo is 1 kilo.
Yeah, exactly. Weight's weight, and then especially when you get up to, what's your goal? What kind of weight are you going to go up to? 50, 60?
Well, 65 is easy.
Yeah, 65. So when you get up to 65, that starts adding up the cost of just one pair of dumbbells, so 65 kg pair.
Yeah.
It's going to be costly.
And also, it took a whole year for people to realize I didn't have 25s. Why buy 25s in the beginning?
Yeah.
Now I can buy them because someone wants them.
Yeah.
So it's just a case of
what's needed at the time.
Not overextending.
Yeah.
But also having enough.
I see dowels there. We were talking about doing the dowels before, so you got plenty of dowel rods there too.
Yeah, very important, especially for the functional movement screening and also for the simple mobility workouts. Shoulder dislocates almost is right up there with number one. Plenty of bands as well, power bands and.
Yeah, I saw those all from industrial strength, are they? Yeah.
Oh, we got 50-50. Right,
industrial
everywhere.
athletics.
Yeah, industrial. Actually, get my other bands from Get Strength or from Helico.
Okay.
Just whoever's the cheapest at the time.
And you got the jaw lock system with the lock. I like these.
You got to have safety's paramount. So and also people don't realize that the reason you use locks other than them sliding off is there's less friction on the plates. They don't move, wobble in the air, and so it's safer for your joints, safer for your shoulder, safer for a bar overhead, and to me it's just a must.
Yeah, those are good locks too. Those ones. Those are kind of.
They're from.
Okay, so you got your kettlebells here, all competition kettlebells.
Yep.
Go through. What's your standard weight from 8 kilos to 36 or
8 to 28 at the moment. Simply because of the, the level of kettlebell user in you. And competition ones definitely very important because you can learn at a light weight, and when you go up the weight, the handle doesn't change and the size doesn't change.
All the biomechanics still the same still. Yeah.
Less injuries.
Yeah, for sure.
As you can see, there's not many, but there's enough.
Oh,
don't run out. And
compared to the average gym in New Zealand or even worldwide, it's more than most gyms anyway.
And we promote a lot of kettlebell work. So.
And you got your dead balls, medicine balls,
ball
and
balls,
your sandbags, all that kind of gear. Yep. That's probably more used in the class.
CrossFit,
than it is.
Yep. But we, members have started, especially ones that swap between doing their own thing and CrossFit, find they can't do without a wall ball once a week. So it's really, really important. Lots of different weights, solid strength ones, Titan ones.
And the Swiss balls.
Wish I never bought them.
Okay.
Probably one gets used a week.
More
twice a week.
Stretching or something.
Yeah. Sitting on. Facebooking.
Maybe we should have sat on that instead of boxes. Huh? And then of course you got your rack attached to the wall here. This is industrial athletics as well, right?
Yeah, so this was the start of our rig when we started CrossFit, because we were, going back to the original, we didn't want to add CrossFit until we were a fully strength and conditioning facility first, and then we just added CrossFit as another tool, because we, me, Ryan, and my other coaches understand promoting all round. There's not just one training system that's the best. You've got to have a mix, so strength as well as and so CrossFit's a good training tool, good marketing tool to get people in, and it's a good training system. Once you follow the methodology, it's awesome. So the rig is actually, I'm still we're expanded, so I've bought to double the rig, just waiting for it to arrive now. So it'll be, in the next couple of weeks, it'll be double the size, simply because of the class sizes.
You're going down longer down through here?
No, so what we'll do is we'll just come out one, and another, so we'll have 6 bays. Yeah, and then, so we can have more members doing pull-ups and more ring stuff, and got to add my ropes to the ceiling still. That's, just one of those projects I've got to knock off, because I do have ropes and more rings and stuff. But, for a new gym, or a new CrossFit gym, because we only started CrossFit September last year, and 200 members, we've done all right, And we've got the other rigs over there to supplement the strength training, so it's not an issue.
Yeah. And then you got the Olympic gear over here for, barbells and
plates
for
they're
the
all the
same kind of. You save that specifically for the Olympic lifting. These guys can.
No, so they all the same gear.
Yeah.
So, but I get mixed up a lot. Out. Yeah.
I get mixed up.
I just like to, I hate my cardio too often, so I don't like doing farmers walks all day. So just separate them out.
It makes sense too if you've got classes going at the same time.
Yep.
You don't want to be crossing over in front of a class going on the turf there.
Yeah, and as you can see, we've got 50-50 women's and men's bars, so it's not an issue. Got my training plates there as well, because it's easier to learn rather than trying to teach someone from a mission. Yeah, just plywood and jigsaw, man.
Yeah, that's all you need for training plates. Then you got the two more. Got the aerodynamic.
Well, yeah, like with everything, it's a huge capital expense, so we will add more as we need them, but as you can see, I've got 3 cardio machines, 100% utilised in the evening for 3 hours of the day. The rest of the day they sit around, so...
Got to wait for them to be utilised more before expanding that one, huh?
They're good, but you can go for a run.
Yeah.
You can push a sled, you can do some speed drills, you can...
Do the tyre.
Do the tyre, exactly. So, cardio conditioning has many forms.
And upstairs?
My kitchen and my other business.
Okay, so you kind of separate the lower. This is all.
There's nothing upstairs. Just offices.
Nothing much upstairs. More downstairs. And you got the bathrooms.
You've
got
bathrooms
showers in there as well.
Yep, showers. So we get.
Were they already in there?
Yeah.
Oh, they made it simple then.
Oh yeah, that was one of the reasons the other place didn't really work. I had to try and put showers in. So at that point, it was like,
is it just one on each side?
There's just two showers and there's 2 toilets, so just unisex.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah. Very few people actually use them. A lot of people ask about them, but when they come down to use them, they don't. So.
Yeah, it's kind of, we found that in the US too. We get used a dozen times a week, maybe in total.
It's in the mornings.
Yeah.
People who want to go on the way to work. Yeah.
Okay. And do class at lunchtime? Are they very popular?
We don't do any classes at lunchtime. We tried that.
Because of the area you're in?
Because of where we are, we're either on the way to work or on the way home. We're not in between. And that's pretty good because we do a lot of educational groups during the day and some schools and sports teams before. So between 10 and 3 p.m. we do, we can use the whole facility for groups.
But you are kind of maximising the space throughout the day then for different purposes,
like
you're saying, and you have the one-on-one training for those gaps which is not being used at all.
Yeah,
so.
We do a ladies group at 9:30 every day. It's very popular because there's no one here and they can drop the kids off and come and chill here.
Okay, good.
Do some exercise.
Well, let's have a sit down again and talk business, huh? Okay, we just found a little kind of hideaway here that we didn't know about. So you got a kids area here that you can basically lock them up while you're training or guys are training.
Yep, and they can see the parents through the windows, some toys, some couches, they can...
It's good you got bars on the windows though.
That's good. Yeah, burglar bars so they can't can't jump out the window and run away. And the gate, you just close the gate, and it is a baby safety gate,
Toddlers,
so
yeah.
they can't get out, and that way, the parents don't have to stress about babysitters and all that.
That's one of the things that you see in now is the gyms are kind of doing away with it. This used to be back in the 80s, it used to be a thing, 80s, 90s.
Yeah, so long as people get hung up on the health and safety side, and I can understand it's actually very, very important, but
it's the only way some parents can get in here, right?
Yep, and it's important for the parents too to have their alone time and be able to work out. It only takes a couple of minutes to pop in. Normally the kids are quite good anyway. They self-entertain. So. And
you got the windows there, so people can check in on maybe a minute or a couple of minutes or
10
minutes.
Yeah. Yep. And sometimes a kid just wants to pop out the head and make sure the mum's still around, hasn't actually left them behind. So yeah.
Hasn't happened yet though, has it?
No.
Okay, good. So let's talk business a little bit more. Let's go on the marketing side of stuff. You're in IT, so did you do your own website?
I did.
Okay, so with your website, you were saying before off camera that it wasn't one of your big targets that you're getting a lot of traffic coming in from.
Well,
what is your biggest biggest traffic draw online? Facebook.
Yeah. The problem I had, which I didn't find out, but I knew it was going to be a problem, is getting people down the road. I've got to get people to actually walk up the road. There's no retail, much retail in the area, and people actually literally have to come down the drive to come and see me.
Yeah, you're at the end of this driveway of this warehouse area.
So I had to pull them in to get out of their cars. Simple stuff like putting a big sign up saying gym did a lot more than actually the name of the building. People will be like, oh, there's a gym down here. I saw the sign. And they come in and it's like, wow, I didn't even realize it was here. So,
like you're saying, this road is very, very busy.
This road is really, really busy. The ulterior plan for Auckland is that road will get even busier, bigger. More shops, more businesses. But it is it will be the biggest feeder into the city from the North Shore as well, because the Waterview Tunnel swings around. And so my client market, which is currently stretching all the way to Massey, Te Aratu already, because they're waiting for their Waterview tunnel, but they're still members here, so they just handle the traffic. Will be great, because it's central. Anybody that comes to the airport, because of all my social media and the targeting that I do, anybody that goes to the airport, searches CrossFit or strength and conditioning or gym, I come up number one without paying someone to do it. I've just done it through natural growth and through my own personal reach of just targeting specifically. I did decide I did want a really good website. To me, from an IT background, I felt it was really, really important, just because if I'm trying to get a CEO or a club or a school to come into my facility, I've got to have something that they can look at and actually visualize, because they're never going to, they shouldn't waste their time coming to see me. It should be someone else. So giving them something that they can look at, that's got all the information they need, what the facility looks like, then it will help. It'll help the corporate side and the business side. Sort of like, it still does its job. People still go there. We added CrossFit in, so we needed to add a second site. I am building a new website. It's going to be a little bit more refined, just based on what I've learnt. Because with all new businesses, it's all about learnings, right?
Yeah.
Marketing, it's all Facebook ads, pumping, targeting, trying to find what works and what will bring people in. And everybody that's come here has come from social media or word of mouth. And you can Facebook, not to plug them too much, is really, really, really good. And it's really, really important that
others have said the same thing.
It's like, and allowing people a bit of an insight into who you are. So, I'm not the likes of a global gym that has $1 million marketing team who sits there all day designing perfect ads, but at the same time, people want to see real people. And to me, the social media side it's giving people free knowledge. A lot of my friends will attest, we didn't open this facility to make money. We opened this facility to help people invest in their lives be healthier, have a lifestyle that's actually quite fun. So we do a lot of, put a lot of free information on there, free videos, mobility stuff, do this at home, free programs, like we just want to see people, get better.
So more the kind of Gary V, jab, 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 right hook type of process where you're giving, and then you ask for,
We don't really need to ask because people will come here.
It's kind of self-evident if they want to.
Yeah, and that's where the direct targeting is. Come here, be a part of our membership. Come and join our CrossFit. Come and join our, bring your school team, bring your rugby team. Use our facility. Training that works. So something that is very sometimes missed is we like to see every member every week. And if you're not here, we miss you. So that makes it a little bit different, a little bit more personal, and suddenly you can help people actually change. Because they're very, humans they feel they need to get into a routine, but to me, you don't thrive in that environment. That's why CrossFit is really good. The routine changes all the time. What you could be doing today and what you're doing tomorrow can be totally different, and that's when you get results. Is because from the moment you're born, that's when you start changing. So body thrives on change. So why do you feel you have to be in a routine? Why start a gym on Monday? Why not start it on a Wednesday?
Yeah.
Why lose 4 days?
Bench day Monday, leg day Friday type
Exactly.
of.
Why do squats today when you don't feel like squats and you feel like doing deadlift? Still a movement, still an exercise, and it still produces a result. So it's just, but it has its challenges.
So what other social media platforms do you use? Instagram, Twitter?
Yeah, so good thing about coming from an IT background, I can do it on Facebook and I can target Instagram straight away. Instagram, we do it in the evenings. I bug my coaches to keep posting stuff on Instagram especially around when members actually succeed or they break through a certain period or just working hard. It's social media now. People are sitting on the bus and the train, in traffic, at school, at lunchtime, on their phones. It's unfortunate, but it's reality. And the easiest way for me to reach someone is between 5 and 7 a.m. in the morning. And then in the evenings, 8:30 at night, when they sit in front of Shortland Street.
For those who don't know, that's a TV series in New Zealand.
Yeah, TV series. They're on their phone, and they see my ads. And to me, that's important. And they see other people enjoying themselves, and
Okay, so those are not as focused as your Facebook's number one for you, really.
Yeah, it's
just one where you spend money on advertising on.
I spend a lot on Facebook, more so than I do on any other advertising, because Facebook has done something to society which other IT companies or other IT systems or processes have tried, which is connecting with people. And they've done it the best, and they've done it really well, so why would I try and reinvent something that's already there? So it's just searching what other companies have done. Facebook have a lot of free help for businesses. They don't, from a percentage of advertising to revenue, I've made all my revenue pretty much from Facebook. So it works.
You've been tracking that, obviously.
Yeah. I've been a cash flow as a business, small business, crucial. But for every $50 I spend on Facebook, I get a member. So you equal you equal that over a year, the return investment is worth it.
Good. So with these number of trainers and coaches you have here, you have a PT amongst them too, a physical therapist, right?
Yeah, so we've got Emma, who's a physio. Yeah, and it's always been, when we start adding more coaches and we get more coaches, we try and find something that they do that we don't do that adds value to the members. So it's all about, the faster we can help a member recover, or the more prevention we can have against injuries, the more we're going to be able to train them and coach them. So physio, highly recommended. So it's not providing a physio where, it's not for major injuries or for serious injuries. If you need to see a physio, make an appointment. But she's here. She's here on the floor. She's helping people with tight necks, tight shoulders, coming off injuries, or
And that's part of the membership too.
part of the membership. Yeah, it's you know, she's here during a set time. Members know that she's here. You can come in, you can talk to her and ask, you know, and you can get 15, 20 minutes with her, and you know, she's part of our membership team as well.
Do you market some of that? Do you use any marketing? Not-
well, we do
not
the
enough.
online videos, you know, we around some stuff.
And in Olympic weightlifting, do you target, you know, like the different services you offer here? Do you target those services, or do you do a general broad?
Well, we do a general broad. I don't list all the services I have because
Too many to list.
it's too many to list, and also people don't understand. You know, if you're going to a gym, you know, why would I need a physio? Why would I? Unfortunately, some people will be thinking, oh, okay, so my membership includes paying for a physio, so you just have it there. Weightlifting, we did originally have, because we're an owned accredited facility, so we like to be on the map as coaching really good weightlifting, you know, and you know, anybody that's come there has done really, really well, especially in, you know, taking it to CrossFit afterwards. But it's, you know, if you want to do Olympic lifting, you can find us on the map, and it is a service we provide, but it comes with everything else. It's part of the team. So, and also Saki, our Olympic lifting coach, is one of the team. He doesn't, you know, he's good at strength development. He's good at with youth. And he's good in a class environment. So, you know, why wouldn't we use his services to run weightlifting for CrossFit? So that everybody can benefit from that. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And the Facebook ads then, you're saying you kind of put up videos and instructional stuff. Do you use those videos for your paid advertising, or you do separate paid advertising?
No,
so what's the paid advertising?
So I do paid advertising, so I'll run actual direct promotions. I'll actually promote free beginners classes. So we do beginners classes, which are entry level, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, pretty much preparing you to be part of our bigger classes in a facility like this. So sort of like a CrossFit on-ramp, but it's part of your, it's actually for the first week it's free, and then it's just part of your membership, so it's not pay 6 weeks or pay for 4 weeks or whatever. It's just some people progress quicker than others, some people need more time, some people actually want to be, you know, it's more of including them as part of the gym as opposed to separating them. So you'll get people that will, you know, like Thursdays for instance, we do CrossFit gymnastics. Anybody could come to that because it's not a workout as such. So you can be at any level. You can be this can be your first time with us as a member in the first class, and you can do it because it's all scaled. So it's including everybody as one community. And yeah, so just really making sure that every person feels like they're progressing.